Every marriage, every relationship has what works for them. Yes, that is why it's very important that you observe and know what works for you in your own relationship, in your own marriage, because everybody is not the same. But even at that, there are still general rules for marriage, for relationship. So as a married man, as a married woman, or as someone in a relationship, it's very important that you you're knowledgeable about these rules, so that it will guide your thoughts, it will guide your actions in your marriage, in your relationship. But in today's episode, I am going to be focusing on marriage. So what are the general rules for marriage? But before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment on my videos. Thank you so much for that. So the number one rule that will guide you in your marriage is, before you see the wrong in your partner, first of all, see your own wrong. It will help you to be fair and be balanced when making some certain decisions about your marriage, when you want to begin to think about some things about your spouse. See your own wrong first. Understand that you're wrong. Accept it first before you see your partner's wrong. Another rule is, before you correct your spouse, first of all, appreciate your spouse. It will make that your correction better received when appreciation is involved, especially the women. You don't just correct a man anyhow, so you have to be mindful of the way you correct your husband. So it's very important how you do it. Don't be the type of partner that accuses your partner at every start of opportunity. Before you accuse your spouse of anything, make sure you have concrete proof. There are a lot of people that are fond of accusing their spouse of something out of insecurity, their feelings, suspicions, and all of that. It's very wrong. It's very wrong. Instead of you to start accusing your spouse immediately, why not ask questions? It is better than just throwing it to their faces, especially if they did not do it. It can be really hurtful, and it's very wrong. These are things, little things that can spoil a lot of things, that can cause a lot of problem in marriage. Before you begin to complain and claim that your spouse is now distant from you, that he no longer makes time for you and all of that, make sure that you check if it was you that pushed him or her away in the first place. Because it is possible that your actions must have pushed your partner away, knowingly or unknowingly. So when it was now clear that you're now emotionally distant, the both of you are now emotionally distant, you begin to complain. So before you begin to, accuse your partner of being distant, make sure you check yourself. Before you begin to claim that your spouse is secretive, that your spouse has changed, all of that, you need to ask yourself some questions. Ask yourself if you're easy to talk to, number one. If you're a calm person, number two. If you're non-judgmental, number three. And number four, if you're empathetic. Because if you're the type that is not easy to talk to, or you're judgmental, how do you expect your partner to open up to you? Why won't your partner be secretive? So before you begin to point fingers, find out the reason why that thing is happening. It is very important, because when you begin to point fingers, you're actually making your partner feel worse. It is not even a solution at all. So be very careful when you begin to take drastic decisions. Don't protect any friend at all costs at the expense of hurting your partner, because it shows that you don't value your partner, and it also shows that you take your partner for granted. And especially when you're doing it in the presence of that friend, my dear, you're killing your spouse totally. Don't ever let how you treat your spouse be determined by how your spouse treats you. That is what works in the friendship world, the relationship stage. But when it comes to marriage, it shouldn't be like that, because it will make you to hold back from the best things that you have for your spouse. You understand? And it will also lead to tit for tat. You now be doing, do for me, I do for you. No. If you want to love your spouse with all your heart, with all your might. And your spouse will also love you. Don't wait until your spouse shows how much he or she loves you before you now check it and now love him or her the same way. No, it's not supposed to be like that. Don't let any day go by without you checking up on your spouse, asking your spouse, how are you doing? It's very important. In fact, it's oil to your marriage. Whether the both of you are together or he or she travel. In fact, when your partner travel, that is even the best time. That is even the more reason why you should never let any day pass without checking up on your partner. I don't know how some people will feel comfortable. I believe that happens in the relationship stage anyway, where someone will be for days, 2 days, 3 days without even checking on someone they claim that they love. It's really appalling. It's not supposed to be so. Don't take the back seat and relax in your marriage, because your marriage will wither without effort. You have to be intentional about the effort you put in your marriage. You have to be intentional about your marriage if you really want to build a healthy and a strong marriage. That is just the fact. Don't treat your spouse bad because your in-laws did not treat you well. Don't treat your spouse the way your in-laws treat you, because it is possible that they don't like you, but your own partner loves you for who you are. So you shouldn't transfer that aggression to your partner. It's wrong. Just give your in-laws time, and by God's grace, they'll change and love you for who you are. Love your spouse the way your spouse wants to be loved, not the way you think he or she deserves to be loved. Think about it. Because if you love your spouse the right way, which is the way he or she wants to be loved, the person will feel loved. But when you, for example, have the wrong mindset, or maybe something affected your decision towards the love for your spouse, and you love him or her based on the way you feel he or she should be loved, that is not true love. True love is really loving someone the way that person wants to be loved. That is when the person will accept and understand and appreciate that love. When you promise to do something for your partner, when you promise your partner anything, do it. Try as much as you can to do it. It makes your word more trusted, and it takes your marriage further. Imagine a marriage where one of them, either the man or the woman, always makes promises and never keeps any. It's really bad. It's not good at all. Nobody likes such things. So it's very important that you learn to keep to your word. It is better for you not to make any promise than to make promises and don't keep them. That one is even more painful. So it's very important that whenever you make promises, try as much as you can to keep those promises. If you truly love your spouse and you want to show it, please love your spouse well. Love your spouse with everything that you have. Your money, your time, your energy, your resources, your success, everything. Love your spouse with everything. Do not hurt your partner. And finally, for today's episode, learn to make time for your marriage. As a man, as a married man, as a married woman, is very important, because your old age as a couple will be shaped, will be determined by the level of time, the number of time, the amount of time you invested into your marriage over the years. It's very important. No matter how busy your schedule is, please learn to make time as often as possible for your spouse, for your family. It's very important. In summary, what I'm saying is that you need to forget about what is happening on social media. There are still so many people that are enjoying their marriages. Yes. But in order for you to enjoy it, you have to be intentional about the effort you put into your marriage. You have to learn how to make your marriage work. That is the only way you can enjoy that marriage. In as much as there are a lot of things going on in a lot of people's marriages, the divorce, the problems, endurance, and all of them, but there are still people that enjoy being married. There are still people out there that are enjoying their marriage, and you can be one of them if you can adhere to the basic rules of marriage. So that is all I have to say for today's episode. Please, if you know more rules about marriage, I would love you to enlighten us as well. I just mentioned about 15 rules. I am sure there are so many other rules, basic rules that guides marriage. So please, I would love you to also, enlighten us about your own rules, the rules that you know that guides marriage? Please drop it in the comment section. Thank you so much for that. So that is all I have to say for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Thank you so much for listening, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment on my videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next episode.